Let's take a look at how we can use our calculator to help us find the local max and or min and intervals of increase and or decrease for any given function. F of x equals x times the square root of x plus 15. I'm not real familiar with what that would look like, so I'm going to grab my calculator and we're going to graph it there. So in y equals, we'll just copy this in, and x plus 15. Okay, so I've got my function copied in y equals. I'm going to start with the standard window. Wow, that looks like a line. I'm pretty sure that's not what this will look like since it involves a square root. So I'm thinking I probably need to adjust my window. When I'm not sure how to adjust it, one of the things that I can do is go to zoom and go down to number 3 and zoom out. So it brings me back to the standard window, and it's blinking at the origin 0, 0. That's fine. Let's expand out from there, making that the center of the new graph. I just hit enter, and it readjusts my x's and y's so that I can see a lot more detail to my function. So now I see that it does have a starting point. It decreases, it hits a minimum, and then increases there from that point forward. So if you're curious, you can go to the window and see how far it had to expand it out. But the main thing is we want to be able to look at this graph and find that low spot so we can answer this question. To do that, we're going to go to the Calculate menu, and we get there by taking Second and Trace. We're going to go down to number 3 in this case because we have a low spot or a minimum. The left side is just asking for something to the left of that dip. I make sure I'm well past the low spot and I hit enter. It marks it. Now it wants to know what's the right bound. So I move to the right side of that low spot, hit enter, and now it's got a range through which it's going to check for that minimum. And it wants me to do one more thing and guess. That's pretty close, so I'll hit enter there. Now it returns a value. This is an oddity with our graphing calculators. It's a rounding thing. If you see negative 9.999 or negative 10.0001, you can assume that really means the actual whole number. So I can hit second calc value negative 10 and verify that I really am going to get the same answer. Now I'm going to take a screenshot of this and put it into our notes. Maybe. Let me try that again. Oh, I am apparently having trouble. Let me try that one more time. Okay, it took me a second, but there we have it. So there is our function, and we have our low spot. So I'm going to kind of section this off and say that this initial part here is decreasing, and this on the other side of the red line is going to be increasing. Okay, so we know we have a minimum of the negative 22.36. It is at x equals negative 10. So my intervals of decrease are going to be where I start the function at. Well, if we look at the domain of this function, we cannot go past negative 15 because remember, what is underneath that square root has to stay positive, or at least not negative. So we're going to start at negative 15 up to the negative 10, and we're not going to include it just because we don't usually include the endpoints on increase and decrease. I did include the negative 15 because that's an actual starting point. The increasing section then would be from the negative 10, and we're going as far as we want forward. It's going to continue to go up, so we're going to say that that goes to infinity. Let me know if you have any questions.